Welcome back to our channel on this beautiful, intriguing day, as we dive deep into the latest shocking developments in Genoa City. The drama is heating up, and we have an exclusive look at a brand new arrival that is guaranteed to shake the very foundations of the Newman family. Buckle up, because the emotional roller coaster is just beginning. The atmosphere of Genoa City is currently suffocating under the weight of relentless corporate warfare and devastating family betrayals. But the lingering shadows of these boardroom battles are about to be entirely eclipsed by a deeply personal and emotionally devastating storm. The week of August 10th through the 14th promises to deliver a seismic shift in the emotional landscape of the Newman family, introducing a volatile catalyst that will irrevocably alter the trajectory of one of the city's most beloved and tragically burdened sons. The arrival of a mysterious stranger is set to send massive shockwaves through the tight-knit community, peeling back the fragile, carefully constructed layers of healing and exposing raw, untreated wounds that threaten to bleed out into the open. The tension in the air is palpable, a thick, heavy anticipation of an impending disaster that no amount of money or power can prevent. Stepping out of the shadows and into the complicated, unforgiving light of Genoa City is Marie Kirkland, a brand new character brought to vibrant, agonizing life by the immensely talented Jade Harlow. Marie's highly anticipated debut is shrouded in an intoxicating, almost impenetrable veil of mystery, presenting a woman who is desperately yearning for a clean slate and a fresh start in a place where she hopes nobody knows her name. However, in the treacherous world of high-stakes daytime drama, a fresh start is rarely as pristine or as simple as it seems on the surface. Marie carries herself with the quiet, hyper-vigilant intensity of a seasoned survivor, her eyes holding the heavy, unspoken weight of a profoundly dark and turbulent past that she is fiercely determined to leave behind, no matter the cost to herself or those she encounters. The narrative surrounding Marie Kirkland is meticulously constructed to keep the audience guessing at every turn, slowly dripping agonizing clues about the profound, destructive secrets she harbors deep within her soul. She is not merely a blank canvas arriving in a new town to paint a pretty picture. She is a complex, shattered puzzle with missing pieces that threaten to upend the lives of everyone she draws into her orbit. The show's writers are holding her tragic backstory incredibly close to the vest, ensuring that her gradual integration into the fabric of the city will be punctuated by shocking revelations and unforeseen, catastrophic consequences. Marie is a woman running breathlessly from invisible demons, and her desperate, blind sprint for salvation has led her directly into the epicenter of the Newman family's ongoing, generational tragedies. At the very heart of Marie's impending chaotic storyline is Nick Newman, a man currently drowning in what is arguably the darkest, most perilous chapter of his entire existence. The crushing, suffocating weight of being the Newman family's perennial problem solver, the unwavering moral compass in a turbulent sea of ruthless ambition and deceit, has finally broken his spirit entirely. Nick's harrowing descent into severe drug addiction has violently stripped away his heroic facade, leaving behind a profoundly vulnerable, terrified, and broken man desperately searching for an immediate escape from the agonizing prison of his own mind. His painful decision to enter a rehabilitation center was supposed to be his ultimate salvation, a step toward the light, but it instead became the fertile breeding ground for a new, entirely different kind of dangerous, all-consuming dependency. It was within the sterile, emotionally raw, and heavily monitored walls of that treatment facility that Nick's tragic path collided violently with Marie Kirkland's. Bound by the shared, unspoken language of debilitating addiction and profound trauma, the two damaged souls found an immediate, magnetic, and inescapable connection. In a place specifically designed for genuine healing and rigorous self-reflection, they inadvertently cultivated a deeply toxic, codependent bond, recognizing their own shattered, desperate reflections in each other's haunted eyes. Marie quickly became the only person in the world who truly understood the visceral, bone-deep agony of Nick's daily struggle, offering a comforting, non-judgmental darkness that sharply contrasted with the suffocating, impossible expectations of his powerful, demanding family. This shared vulnerability has rapidly morphed into a highly dangerous, unbreakable psychological tether that threatens to drag them both under. Nick, desperate for a fresh start and terrified of facing the absolute ruins of his life back in Genoa City, has latched onto Marie as his sole emotional life raft in a raging hurricane. Their relationship entirely transcends traditional romance, It is an intense, trauma-bonded survival mechanism built on a foundation of mutual evasion. They are two drowning people clinging to each other with a death grip, mistakenly believing that their combined brokenness can somehow magically create a whole, functioning human being. The emotional intensity of their profound connection is intoxicating, providing Nick with the ultimate euphoric distraction from the grueling, painful work of genuine recovery. Driven by this intoxicating new connection and the overwhelming fear of facing his reality, Nick makes the catastrophic, impulsive decision to abandon his treatment program prematurely. He does not return to the safety, wealth, and support of his family in Genoa City. Instead, he completely isolates himself, seeking out Marie in a desperate, frantic bid to maintain the euphoric, fragile illusion they have constructed together. His reckless escape from rehab is a glaring, terrifying indication that his addiction has merely mutated, transferring his severe chemical dependency onto an unpredictable human being. Marie, equally desperate for a permanent anchor in her chaotic, terrifying life, willingly accepts this immense, crushing burden, cementing a relationship that is destined to implode. When Marie finally steps foot onto the pristine pavements of Genoa City, she brings the full, devastating weight of this dangerous codependency with her. Her arrival is absolutely not a coincidence. It is a highly calculated move to solidify her place in Nick's life, or perhaps a desperate, final attempt to outrun the terrifying secrets that are inevitably hunting her down across state lines. As she cautiously navigates the unfamiliar, wealthy, and highly judgmental terrain of Nick's world, Marie's presence acts as a volatile, unpredictable catalyst for massive family drama. She is the physical, breathing embodiment of Nick's ultimate rebellion against his family, a walking defiance of the Newman legacy that threatens to drag him further away from the light and into a permanent abyss. The romantic sparks flying between Nick and Marie are undeniable, characterized by a searing, desperate passion that completely consumes them both whenever they are in the same room. Every lingering glance, every desperate touch, is heavily laced with the terrifying urgency of two people who genuinely believe they are the only ones keeping each other alive. This intense, fiery romance is a beautiful but utterly terrifying spectacle, a blazing inferno that provides temporary warmth but constantly threatens to burn everything they touch to the absolute ground. Their tragic love story is fundamentally flawed, deeply rooted in shared trauma rather than mutual growth, making it a ticking time bomb that is destined to explode with devastating emotional shrapnel that will scar everyone nearby. The sudden, jarring arrival of this mysterious, captivating woman in Nick's fragile life instantly triggers the deeply ingrained, fiercely protective instincts of Sharon Newman. Sharon, who shares an extensive, profoundly complicated, and historically rich bond with Nick that spans decades, possesses an almost supernatural intuition when it comes to the beloved father of her children. Even before she fully understands the terrifying depths of Marie's dark past, or the inherently toxic nature of her bond with Nick, Sharon senses a profound, sickening disturbance in the universe. She can viscerally feel the dangerous, suffocating gravitational pull Marie exerts on Nick, recognizing the subtle, terrifying signs of a man who has traded one lethal, soul-crushing addiction for another. As Nick and Marie's highly volatile relationship becomes more visible to the public eye, a fierce, all-consuming jealousy begins to ignite and rage within Sharon's heart. This is not merely the superficial, fleeting envy of a former lover watching her ex move on. It is a deep, primal, terrifying fear of losing the man she loves to a dark force she cannot understand or control. Sharon has spent countless years acting as Nick's steadfast emotional anchor, the safe, unwavering harbor he always returns to when the violent storms of his life become too severe to navigate alone. To see him willingly, blindly anchor himself to a mysterious woman who is actively drowning in her own unresolved trauma is a devastating physical blow to Sharon's heart and her fundamental sense of security. Sharon's burning jealousy rapidly transforms into a relentless, fiercely protective, and highly calculated crusade to save the man she loves. She astutely recognizes that Marie is not just a new innocent girlfriend, she is a glaring symptom of Nick's untreated, raging illness, a dangerous, beautiful enabler cloaked in the deceptive guise of a tragic, sweeping romance. The stark contrast between the two women is profound and deeply symbolic of the war raging within Nick. Sharon represents the painful, necessary light of absolute truth, accountability, and genuine, lasting healing, while Marie represents the seductive, comforting darkness of avoidance, shared misery, and total emotional oblivion. The battle lines are being aggressively drawn, setting the ultimate stage for an epic, emotionally shattering confrontation over Nick's very soul. The impending, inevitable clash between Sharon and Marie promises to be an absolute masterclass in brutal psychological warfare. Sharon, heavily armed with decades of shared history, an unbreakable familial bond, and a desperate, burning need to save Nick from completely destroying himself, will stop at absolutely nothing to expose the toxic, lethal reality of this new relationship. Marie, fiercely protective of her fragile fresh start, and absolutely terrified of losing the only human connection that makes her feel remotely whole, will fight back with the unpredictable, dangerous ferocity of a cornered animal fighting for its life. This conflict will not be fought in pristine boardrooms or with corporate takeovers. It will be a brutal, intimate, and bloody war fought deep in the trenches of the human heart. Compounding this explosive, highly volatile love triangle is the looming, terrifying threat of Marie's unrevealed, devastating secrets. The dark, violent past she is so desperately trying to outrun is slowly but surely catching up to her, casting a long, ominous, and suffocating shadow over her fragile, newly constructed life in Genoa City. Whatever severe trauma, horrific crime, or ultimate betrayal she is hiding possesses the absolute power to completely obliterate the beautiful illusion she has built with Nick. When the ugly, undeniable truth finally breaches the surface, it will forcefully compel Nick to confront the devastating, world-shattering reality that the woman he believed was his ultimate salvation might actually be the heavy iron anchor that drags him down to the bottom of the ocean forever. The stage is meticulously and beautifully set for a catastrophic emotional climax that will leave absolutely no one in Genoa City unscathed. As the tense week draws to a nerve-wracking close, a suspenseful, chilling scene unfolds in the heart of the city. Marie Kirkland stands entirely alone in the cold shadows outside Crimson Lights, the flickering neon glow illuminating the stark fear and fierce, unyielding determination in her wide eyes. Through the fogged glass, she intensely watches a highly intimate, emotionally charged exchange between Nick and Sharon. In that silent, agonizing, and profoundly revealing moment, Marie realizes that her desperately sought fresh start is actually the terrifying beginning of a brutal, all-out war. The ultimate, haunting question hangs heavily in the cool night air. Will Marie's dark, inescapable secrets and toxic, addictive love destroy Nick Newman forever? Or will Sharon's relentless, ferocious fight for his soul be enough to pull him back from the absolute brink of total ruin?